Not many of you know this, but earlier this year, end of January, my father passed away. And this is the first real family death that I had gone through ever. My father and I were very, very close. And it was devastating on so many levels. But when we talk about heartbreak, I just want you to realize that heartbreak will come in many forms in your life. Although we talk about relationships, romantic relationships in particular, when I experienced my father's passing, it was like this another level of heartbreak that uh, I was equipped for. Frankly, I mean, I was actually preparing myself as my father was aging and getting frailer and becoming more sick and ill as time went on. I was really you know purposefully grieving him before he actually passed. So when he passed, it was a beautiful experience, but it really brought me into another level of heartbreak that I didn't really know this level because it's so profound when somebody uh, like forever disconnects from you. You know, we talk about energy, and it's all about energy, right? It's all about we're energetic beings. So our heart has the largest energetic field. And so we're always, you know, recovering from heartbreak or feeling heartbreak. Um, and then we rise, we raise our energetic level so that we can, cope better with all the things that are coming at us in life. This year, challenged everybody's ability to stay in their practices and stay in the optimistic part and not go too low into the vibration of sadness. But today, I just wanted to really reach out and talk to you more about how you can continue this practice of healing from heartbreak. And these are the practices that I teach, and these are the practices that I do all the time. And it's so important for us to continue practicing because life is one big practice. There's no end to it. There's no end to these practices. There's no end to repairing your heart and keeping resilient and staying focused on keeping your vibration elevated because things happen throughout the day that cause us to have little heartbreaks. You become disappointed. Things don't show up. You don't get what you want. You don't have feedback that you wanted to have, whether it's job or personal relationships. There's always little disappointments. So our practice is trying to always get out of heartbreak on some level. So I want to share with you the Heartbreak Survival Guide, which is somewhere in all of my platforms for you to download for free. So if you haven't received a Heartbreak Survival Guide, just let me know and I'll make sure you get the link. Okay? And you can also download the Heal and Reclaim Guide, which is free on my website at dianamicas.com. Again, just great practices. Just continue to remind yourself about, how to continually keep yourself elevated in that higher vibration energy where you can actually start manifesting what you want in life. So let's get into what does it look like to survive from heartbreak day to day, right? So heartbreak, when you look at heartbreak and healing from it has to be done in a holistic manner. But what I want you to realize first is heartbreak is very similar to, of course, the levels of grief. There are actually 6 levels of heartbreak. And I call it, heartbreak PTSD, because when we get into the depths of heartbreak, it feels like PTSD. So in the first phase, it's all about shock and trauma. So this is when you are first, dealing with whatever the heartbreak is. It just happens to you. It's like, boom. And if you're going through a divorce right now, this quote, changed how I saw it. Divorce is like being in a car accident every single day. You are traumatized every single day because your foundation is now breaking apart. So, how do you recover from the first phase of shock and trauma? Well, studies have concluded that when we experience heartbreak, whether it's social rejection on some level or romantic rejection, our heart rate all of a sudden decelerates. And it takes a lot longer to recover because this is really shock, right? We go into shock. And it's really a bit of the calm. You're kind of like in this trauma, sort of like what just happened, but it's the calm before the storm because then your adrenals kick in. So when this first happens, instead of shutting down and feeling shame and feeling all the things that might be coming at you and all the voices of failure and all of that, this is where you can just quickly stop yourself from going into the depths of the heartbreak by breathing. It's as simple as breathing. Because when we get into trauma and shock and panic, we stop breathing. It's like someone's punched us in the gut, somebody's just like pushed us over, whatever it is. I want you to give yourself permission to not shut down. So have your reaction, your reaction in a safe place. If you need to cry or yell or whatever that is, of course, you might have to remove yourself from the situation, or it might happen a couple of minutes later. You might feel like the shock is happening and you don't know what happened. You need to like remove yourself. Do that. Okay. But if you're safe and you're not with anybody like a lot of us are these days, I want you to remember to breathe. So breathing is so important right now because what breathing does is it calms down your nervous system. So when we're in shock, our nervous system goes into this fight or flight shock. So then it signals down to our adrenals to send out all that cortisol, which we have enough of in our system, by the way. So to stop this sort of cascade of reactions in our body, remember to breathe. So taking deep breaths in through your nose and exhaling is really good. And the one that I love is inhaling on 4, holding for 4, and then releasing on 4. It's very simple to do. It'll just bring your brain back online. It'll slowly calm down your nervous system, and then you'll be able to properly and in a rational way, because then you're allowing your rational brain to kick in. So it allows your rational brain to start analyzing what just happened and making some proper decisions around the scenario of heartbreak. Then when you get into phase 2, sometimes your heart needs more time to accept what your mind already knows. So you start to feel the pain, your chest tightens, you feel the heartache. Again, you might have weakness, shortness of breath. You might even start getting a headache. Headache is anger, okay? When you start getting a headache, that means you are angry about something and you're shoving it down. And generally, studies have shown that when you have an emotional reaction, like a social rejection or a heartbreak, it registers in the same part of your brain that pain does. So when you are sensing that you've been socially rejected and heartbreak, you actually can physically feel it. And now, I know some people have said, oh, no one's ever died of a heartbreak. Well, that's not necessarily true. You actually can have some physical reactions that can cause heartbreak. There was a little study that showed that if your heartbreak is so profound, you actually can bring on heart attacks. So what I don't want you to focus on is that. What I want you to focus on is the reaction you're having in your body, okay? Honor the reaction wherever you feel the pain. I want you not to reach for something that will quickly numb yourself, okay? Like alcohol or eating. What I want you to do is start nurturing your body and ask your body, where does it hurt? And acknowledge it. So if you're having pain in your chest, Acknowledge that you're having that pain in your chest. Just listen to your body. Say, I hear you. I know that you're feeling bad. Give yourself emotional hugs. Give yourself a hug if you need to. One of the best tips that I got from one of my therapists was to grab a pillow and just hug it really tight. And again, just breathe through that feeling. And if you have time and you're able to reach out to somebody who is a body worker, such as massage, go and book a massage. Having somebody work on your body and work out the pain and work out the heartbreak is key right now. So be gentle with yourself. Give yourself lots of emotional hugs. Nurture yourself. What I always like to remind you is when you are in heartbreak and you're feeling the physical manifestations, you have to treat your body as if you've broken something. Okay, so if you have already broken an appendage and you know what that feels like, treat yourself as if you've broken a leg. You have to go slow, you have to be gentle, you have to nurture yourself. And then the final phase of heartbreak is isolation and denial. And the worst lies are the ones we tell ourselves, right? So this is where we start telling ourselves we're not worthy, we don't deserve having a beautiful love life, we don't deserve to be treated well. Or you might be saying to yourself, well, we're not really broken up. You're in total denial as to what the situation is. That he's going to come back to you or she's going to come back to you. You're going to reconcile somehow. This is denial. You have to look at the situation as it is and just accept it for what it is. And the divorce is the divorce, the breakup's the breakup. It happened for a reason. Accept that it happened and start to move on. So what I don't want you to do is to isolate yourself and stagnate in the thoughts in your head. I want you to quickly block those thoughts out. And I want you to quickly block out any negative energy from your ex or from anybody else in your life who isn't supportive of you right now. Okay? If somebody is in your life who is telling you to, get over it, or, they're well-meaning, but they're not being supportive, I want you just to remove that energy from your field. Block them. Don't talk to them for a while until you gather up your strength. Okay? Or not at all. If it's an ex, this is the time to break that energetic cord or diminish it on some level. And what I want you to do is start connecting. So taking your practices of nurturing, treating your body, breathing, I want you to get out of the stuckness of being in isolation. And I call this the loneliness loop. And it is something that is happening all over the world prior to even COVID happening. We're feeling very isolated and alone. Only you can remove this stagnation. Only you can take yourself out of it. Okay? That's in your power. So I want you to connect with people you know on an ongoing basis. Don't wait for them to connect with you. Don't make up some stories like they should know that if you're feeling bad, they should contact you. Look, we are all on some level wanting more connection in our lives. It's up to us to ignite those connections. It's up to us to nurture those connections. So call up 3 girlfriends that you haven't spoken to in like a while. Okay? When you go out today, even though you're wearing your mask, look at people in the eyes and connect with them. Smile with your eyes. Say hello. Say good morning. Say thank you. Start to really actively connect with people. This will make you feel way more connected with everybody. It'll help you bring you back into your body, right? It'll help you feel more grounded as you connect with people. Don't isolate yourself. Get out of your apartment. Get out of your condo. Go for a walk. Anybody you see on the street right now today, say hello. Say good morning. Say good afternoon. Say hi. How are you doing? There's nothing from stopping you from connecting. The more you connect, the more you bring opportunity to connect with the person that you should really be connecting with, right? If you're looking for a new partner. So, again, heartbreak is something that we manage on an ongoing basis. And I also just read an article, and there's a really beautiful analogy of how to get heartbreak out of your body. It's something that has to continually come out of your body, like shrapnel from a war. Okay, so remember, it's slowly coming out of your body, and it might come and go in bits and pieces. You might find one day you just have to break down. You just have to like take yourself away from a situation and just cry it out. Give yourself permission to let it come out of your body instead of stagnating it and shutting it down and numbing it. Give yourself a safe place for you to do that, whether it's to cry or scream, and then nurture your body. Acknowledge where it hurts. Remember to breathe. Remember to connect. So, the 3 things you're going to do today, if you're experiencing heartbreak, breathe. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Second thing you're going to be doing is you're going to treat your body as if it's been wounded. Be gentle with it, nurture it. Lots of emotional hugs, lots of timeouts if you need it. The third thing you're going to be doing is you're going to connect with people. Make it a practice to talk to somebody, whether it's on the phone, preferably on the phone, at least connecting with 2 new people a day, whether it's calling an old friend or whether it's saying hello to your neighbor. Okay? So, this is how we heal from heartbreak. We actively get into the practice of treating ourselves better and nurturing our bodies and pulling ourselves through heartbreak so you don't have to linger in it for so long. Someone told me once that heartbreak takes about 2 years to get out of your system. And this is like the death heartbreak. We were talking about grief from death of a loved one. And I mean, that's just a number. Some people can resolve it quickly. Sometimes you need even longer. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to let it overwhelm your life. Okay? Because we need to function. You need to function. You need to do things. You need to get out, provide for yourselves, and have purpose. So, doing these practices every single day will help you move through heartbreak grief, will help you move through, disappointment and all the other things that you're going through right now, whether it's shock and trauma, whether it's anger and denial, or whether it's isolation. Okay? So, have fun with those today. Let me know where you are in heartbreak. Let me know where you're stuck. Just acknowledge how you're feeling. And I'm here for you anytime you need help. Have a great day.